So you really got involved watching when Trish was on and the Divas era, so to speak. When did you know right then and there you wanted to be a wrestler?
Oh yeah, I mean, so I didn't think I could be. I thought I didn't do. I was an entertainer growing up, but I wasn't an athlete growing up. So
Hmm.
I didn't really play any sports. Like I played a little bit of basketball, a little bit of this that, but I never was like the athlete. So I didn't think I'd be. I wanted to be, but I was like, oh well, maybe I can be like a manager or a valet or something like that. But like I knew I needed to be in the industry. So I was 15 when I started watching wrestling and which was at the start of 2004, and then by the end of 2004 I dropped out of high school because I said I'm going to be a professional wrestler. uh don't do that. That was bad, but I mean it's fine, I'm fine. But I basically I read every book and documentary and everything that said, "Hey, have a backup plan, get an education. Like this isn't a good idea." And I said, "I'm the exception," but I wasn't the exception. So, but I dropped out, and then because my plan, I was going to drop out, I was going to get a job, and I was going to save up all this money, and then I was going to fly to America and learn to be a wrestler. But then I was 16 and I had a full time job, and I had money as a 16-year-old. So the saving part didn't happen. Uh, and then eventually, when I was like 19, I finally went, oh, okay, I guess I should just go to the local school that's an hour away from me and not save up all this money to fly to the other side of the world just to learn to wrestle when I could just do it here in Australia.
It takes a lot of dedication to want to be in the business and sacrifices. And I am sure when you're learning how to wrestle and train, it can hurt. Taking
Oh,
those bumps, they are hard, when you fall down uh, on that mat. So tell me about your experiences with training.
so I was very blessed. I trained at a school in Australia where they kind of did like it in like terms kind of thing. So there was like a beginner's course for 3 months, then there was an intermediate course for 3 months, and then there was an advanced course for 3 months, and then like once you've done all those three, then like in theory, you should be able to wrestle and be on shows. So that's basically what I did. Like for my first year of training was I did the course, and then I debuted. So actually, we're recording this on the 3rd of September. On the 1st of September 2007 was my first day of training. So I did that for about a year, and then I had my first match. I believe I debuted as a manager in August of 2008, and then I had my first match in September of 2008. There's wrestling in Australia, but it's nowhere near what is available here in America, and especially not in 2008, where I'd be very lucky to have wrestled once a month or twice a month, so to speak, for like the first year or two. It definitely grew as I was like throughout my career. It got a lot more. There got a lot more shows and stuff, but I started training. I had my first match in 2008, and then in 2012 was the first time I flew to America to train and to try and do some shows and try and get myself out there and try and build this. And that's when I first did Shimmer. And that's when I started meeting people. I was training at the Shikara Wrestle Factory. I was training at what used to be the Ring of Honor dojo in Philadelphia, which is now the oh my gosh, Worldwide Wrestle Dojo by Cheeseburger, which is also where I met Cheeseburger in 2012 before he'd even had his first match. And now he's running his school in the same building, which is crazy. This 13 years later. Um, and then I just basically for 10 years, 11 years, every 6 months or so, I'd fly to America and I'd do some shows and I'd keep building my brand and keep building everything, keep on the stuff. And then I was very lucky in 2015 to wrestle on NXT. I ended up wrestling on NXT again in 2018 when I was over here. I got to do the Casino Battle Royale for AEW in All Out in 2019. I did some other stuff for them in 2019. Unfortunately, the pandemic did happen, and I did get locked in Australia for 2 years, which was not great. But we survived. Worse things were happening. Like other people had it a lot worse than me. I just had to not go to work, and I'm okay with that. I'll survive. And after the lockdown, so we were locked in our country border was closed for 2 years, so I couldn't leave the country for 2 years. And for 6 months of that, I was also in like lockdown in my house. But basically, as soon as they opened the borders, as soon as they said, "Hey, the borders are opening on," I don't know, it was like December something. I was like at my computer booking the flights because I'd waited the entire time, being like, as soon as I know I can leave, I'm leaving. So I booked the flights. And I did a 3 month stint in 2022. 2020, not 2000, yeah, 2022. I don't know words. I did like a 3 month little tour in 2022 after the borders reopened, and which was meant to be like a last hurrah, like, okay, like just like get it out of your system. You've been locked in Australia for 2 years. Have your fun. Go back. Be a regular person. Like it's all over. Except I did that, and I went, oh my god, I need to find a way to move to America. So then I came back from that tour, and I essentially threw away my entire life and moved to America.
And and you're still
And now
going
I'm here.
strong. Yeah.